Glutton's kitchen is a fairly straightforward cave. In my opinion, it's easier than Bulblack's kingdom, so you may want to consider completing this cave first. I give Glutton's kitchen a 2 out of 5 difficulty ranking because the only hazard to be found here is electricity, and for the most part it's easily avoided. Some of the enemies can be dangerous, but there are only 6 sublevels, so you don't have to worry about them for long. Both recommendations are almost exactly the same. Glutton's Kitchen is one of the few caves where I don't recommend taking any red Pikmin, since your yellows are going to be your main strike force. Purples are a must because you'll encounter some beefy enemies, but overall, it's pretty simple as long as you're careful. Let's eat our way through Glutton's Kitchen, Sublevel 1. This is the land of electricity, breadbugs, and a whole lot of food. It's also where we'll encounter our newest enemy, the Dwarf Bullbear. Dwarf Bullbears are stronger and edgier than their cousins. They have more defense than other Bulborbs, but a direct hit from a thrown Pikmin can still kill them with one shot. And we want to be careful because there are quite a few Dwarf Bullbears to be found here. One trick you can use is to lure them away. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. No, not today, Zerg. That was close. That was close with a capital C. All right, we're almost done taking them all out, and there we have it. Now that the coast is clear, we have one more Dwarf Bullbear to take down, and because that ledge is high, we'll have to use yellow Pikmin to do the job. Alright, now that all of the enemies are really gone, we can pick up this treasure. And if you look closely, you can see that it's also another Mario paint tool. This time it's a stick of chalk. First it was the paint canister, now it's a stick of chalk. Maybe an easel will show up next. No, that really doesn't. Anyway, the hold of the next sublevel is here, but first, let's see what we've got. Worth 30 Pokos, pretty cheap if you ask me. This is the Master's Instrument. And if we rotate the treasure, we can see that this color is peach pink. I can't for the life of me remember where I've heard that name before. Can you? Well, that's the only treasure to be found here, so let's move on. 1 sublevel down and 5 to go. Yes, this cavern has 6 sublevels instead of 7 like the Bulblack's Kingdom did. But even so, I think Glutton's Kitchen is easier. Moving on to sublevel 2. This sublevel is quite a bit larger, and as you can see, there's a wooden train set. What was this place before it became Glutton's Kitchen? I mean, did it actually belong to a kid? And if so, what happened to those kids? A little bit of nightmare fuel for you there. Anywho, there are some new enemies waiting for us as well as some new treasures, starting with this lid right here. And lo and behold, the new enemy is right in front of us, the Breadbug. Breadbugs return from the first game, but we'll talk about them in a second because we have another treasure. Worth 100 Pokos, this is the Massive Lid. Yeah, that's real descriptive. I don't think I've ever had a Yoo-Hoo Cola now that I think about it. Breadbugs are kind of interesting. They will try and snatch up whatever treasures they find, or enemy carcasses for that matter, and bring them back to their den. There are 2 ways you can damage breadbugs. One, you can throw Pikmin on top of them like I was just doing, but the more conventional way is to play tug of war with them. You can wrestle the items off of them if your Pikmin carrying capacity is greater than the breadbugs. And I'll definitely demonstrate it in due time. The other way you can take them out is just throwing purple Pikmin directly on top of them, but usually wrestling is the better option. Oh, I didn't see that male shear grub over there. And there we have it. The Breadbug is taken out. Most excellent. Furthermore, when you defeat a Breadbug, their den will disappear, and any treasures they collected will also appear. Right now I need to get my squadron reunited. Okay, where is everybody? Ah, right here, because they were carrying back the lid that we found earlier. Aside from Breadbugs, there are also shear grubs and cloaking burrow nits, so be very careful. Alright, with the squadron fully reunited. Oh, hello there. Let's take out the shear grub first. And do you have a treasure? Well, we can worry about that later because we'll know if he's collected a treasure, and he hasn't, because otherwise the gauge would be reacting to the den. And oh wow, did you see, you see off in the distance, that Breadbug is dragging his fellow species to his den and eating him. I am against cannibalism, so I will not comment on that any further. The big question is, where is the other treasure we need to find? According to the treasure gauge, we are getting close to it, but I can't find it for the life of me. Is it over here? No, it isn't. Ah, there it is. For some reason, it's on the house. I don't think I've ever seen it spawned there, now that I think about it. Anywho, let's go ahead and drag it back to the ship. But I want to see if I can get the Breadbug to carry it back, but it won't because it's already dragging shear grubs. When the Breadbug is carried all the way back to the research pod, it is damaged heavily. Furthermore, if any Pikmin fall into the Breadbug's den, they will get eaten. And that's the only way the Breadbug can kill your Pikmin. Nothing really much for us to do except wait for the Pikmin to carry back the cookie. And as I said in the first sublevel, a lot of food treasures to be salvaged here. The first of which is the imperative cookie. Food treasures are also relatively inexpensive compared to other treasures in the game. But with the second sublevel completed, we are ready to move onwards and downwards. Lead the way, Olimar, although Louie should really lead the way because he's the one who's obsessed with food. Reaching the halfway point, Glutton's Kitchen, sublevel 3. Oh yes, I remember this sublevel. I remember this sublevel all too well. Sublevel 3 is large. It is very large. And there are electricity hazards everywhere. So we'll need to take care of them as soon as possible. And yes, there are even more Breadbugs. Alright, some nectar there, which is good because we have one leaf Pikmin, and I don't like that. Hello, Mr. Breadbug. We may or may not deal with you. But one thing we do want to take care of is this, the Golden Candy Pop Bud. As you can probably guess, this converts your Pikmin into yellow Pikmin. But what you might not know is that this is the only Golden Candy Pop Bud in the entire game. It's not really that useful. Because chances are, you'll already have a lot of yellow Pikmin upon first entering the cave. As it stands, we need to take out the electricity subhazards. And you know what? I'm gonna have Louie do this. Because this cave is filled with food. And Louie is the very definition of a food fanatic. Is he obsessed with food as much as Kirby is? Probably not. When you really think about it, Kirby, ugh, that hurt. I got a little too close for comfort there. Thankfully, the Pikmin will not attack the Breadbugs indirectly like they did in the first game. Alright, we've got 2 anode beetles here. So let's go ahead and take care of them while we're at it. I mean, we might as well, because I don't want the purples trying to take out the anode beetles all by themselves. Alright, it is done. And now they're going to drag the anode beetles back to their den. That really doesn't concern me in the slightest. There's a giant tambourine here for some reason, and I never understood why it wasn't a treasure. I mean, think about how incredibly valuable a tambourine would be to the market. It'd be pretty cool. And furthermore, there's a xylophone here. Was this place once a music classroom? I don't know, but one thing I do know is that we have a new enemy, the Puffy Blowhog. Puffy Blowhogs return from the first game, and they are much rarer in Pikmin 2. They'll blow your Pikmin away, which is pretty annoying, I have to say. Luckily, they can't kill them. And there we have it. Now the question is, can I reach those guys? They're actually out of my whistle range. Okay then, these guys are gonna be out for the time being. Thankfully they'll come with us when we enter the next hole. Anyway, where were we? Ah yes, more anode beetles. The anode beetles are the only thing that's really dangerous here. This is an overall pretty easy sub-level. Okay, some more nectar to flower ourselves up. There should be there's the treasure. I was wondering where it was. So let's go ahead and carry it back. And I keep forgetting if this is the only treasure. No, it isn't. There's another treasure all the way over there. Now, I am going to follow these guys for now, because I want to see if I can get the Breadbug to start dragging the treasure. Nope, he's going to go after the anode beetle instead. Well, that's fine. That's okay. Maybe this one will start dragging it back. Ah, yes. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. If your Pikmin exceed the Breadbug's carrying capacity, they will start dragging it back to the research pod. And I might as well take you out, because I have nothing better to do in the meantime. Alright, there we have it. Now take a look. A little bit closer, and there we have it. Watch this. The Breadbug was heavily damaged, although he can't see its HP. The harmonic synthesizer. It's a castanet, in case you didn't know what it was. And look how much HP he lost. There we have it. It goes down. One strategy you can use is have the Pikmin drag the Breadbug back to base and then throw another Pikmin on top to kill it. And speaking of killing, die! But back to what I was saying about Glutton's Kitchen earlier. Was this in fact a school or a home before humans went extinct? Yeah, that's actually disturbing when you really think about it. Who would have thought Pikmin of all games could be a source of nightmare fuel? Anywho, let's take care of you because you're an irritant. And I want to get rid of you guys as well because I don't want the Pikmin accidentally running in front of you while they're bringing back our second treasure. Alright, the coast is finally clear. So let's bring back this compass. It's one of the heavier treasures in the game with a weight of 20. And it's also one of the larger treasures in the game as well. We don't really need to worry about that Breadbug. He's completely harmless. Oh, I almost forgot about that egg over there. Is there anything valuable? No, just nectar. How disappointing. So all we really need to do is wait until the compass is brought back. I know I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. Electricity is the most dangerous hazard in the game because it instantly kills your Pikmin. You can whistle your Pikmin to safety if they're afflicted with fire, poison, or water, but not electricity. This is precisely the reason why you should have a plethora of yellow Pikmin at your disposal. In fact, now that I think about this is the first time we've ever entered a cave without any red Pikmin. But really, we don't need them. Okay, second treasure obtained. This is the Director of Destiny. I can see why it would be named that. All right, we're done here. So next time on Let's Play Pikmin 2, we are going to finish the second half of Glutton's Kitchen. See you guys next time.